The first overall selection in the 2018 NHL Draft belongs to the Buffalo Sabres. The first overall selection in the 2019 NHL Draft belongs to the New Jersey Devils.
The first selection in the 2020 NHL Draft belongs to the New York Rangers.
Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Nathan, and today I'm going to be giving my full predictions and full preview for the 2021 NHL entry draft. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it seems like the NHL hasn't advertised the draft lottery whatsoever. They're in full playoff mode right now, because as I'm recording this, the draft lottery is tomorrow, June 2nd, 6 p.m. East, or 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Of course, we'll be streaming that on the channel, so subscribe if you are new. But today, when it comes to the draft lottery, and last year at least, when it came to the Rangers winning the first overall pick, there were so many possibilities there. We had two different draft lotteries, and this year could be even more crazy in terms of the potential opportunities and the teams that could get inside the top three and could get that first overall pick. But what are the odds for this year's NHL draft lottery? Who do I see getting inside the top three and winning the draft lottery this year? And what should we expect with this year's 2021 NHL draft lottery? Watch till the end for the entire preview and all the predictions, and hit that subscribe button if you're new. 60% of the people watching are not subscribed, so join the Grav Gang for almost everyday hockey content and hockey predictions just like this. Now, we're going to start out today with the preview for all the odds and the teams that could potentially win the first overall pick, and then later on I'll be getting into my predictions, who I think will get in the top three, and eventually will win that first overall pick for the 2021 NHL Draft. Now, you might be asking, what are the new rules when it comes to the NHL Draft Lottery? And I'm here to say that this is the final draft lottery, that those do not apply. If you don't know, a couple months ago, we saw a big change when it came to the lottery rules, but that will be coming in the 2022 Draft Lottery. Teams will be restricted from moving up more than 10 spots if they win one of the lottery draws. Teams cannot win the lottery more than twice in a 5-year period. Wins in the lottery prior to 2022 will not be counted towards this total. So there you have it. You'll have stuff counting for the 2022 NHL Draft Lottery, but not for this 2021 Draft Lottery. It's basically the same as we've seen before. But when it comes to this 2021 Draft Lottery and the actual odds in place, this is where it gets very, very interesting, because when it comes to the teams at the highest top end, obviously, we've seen the lottery odds for those top-end teams decrease quite a bit over the past few years. Now, it used to be quite a bit high, and sometimes up to 20%, but the Buffalo Sabres had the best odds in the draft, and they come in at the 16.6% chance to win the NHL Draft Lottery, and that is pretty low compared to seasons before, where the first overall pick had a little bit of a better chance. But obviously, we've seen the NHL combat that, try to go against tanking, and this is the result. You also see the Anaheim Ducks at 12.1, the Seattle Kraken, newly coming into the NHL and will make their first ever draft selection. They will have a 10.3% chance. New Jersey also have a 10.3% chance. You have Columbus at 8.5, Detroit at 7.6, San Jose at 6.7, LA at 5.8, the Vancouver Canucks right behind them at 5.4, the Sens at 4.5, Coyotes, who will have to forfeit their pick, but again, if they forfeit it, we'll see another draft lottery. And of course, the Chicago Black, or they win the first overall pick, we'll see another draft lottery. Then the Chicago Blackhawks at 2.7, Flames at 2.2, Flyers at 1.8, the Dallas Stars at 1.4, and the New York Rangers have a 1% chance to win the NHL Draft Lottery. But obviously, it's heavily skewed to the higher teams still, and teams like Buffalo, Anaheim, and even the Seattle Kraken getting first overall would not surprise anybody. Now, when we look at this draft order, there is a lot of interesting storylines here that could definitely factor into this year's draft lottery. The first thing is the Buffalo Sabres, the worst team in the league with that 16.6% chance. The last time the worst team in the league got the first overall pick was the Buffalo Sabres back in 2018. They, of course, would select Rasmus Dahlin, but it hasn't really gone the worst team in the league's way these past couple of seasons. But we'll see if the Buffalo Sabres can correct that and get some luck for the first time this season. You also have the Seattle Kraken with the third best odds in the draft lottery, 10.3%. Tied with New Jersey. That's a team that is going to, of course, be starting in the NHL this next year, and starting out with the first overall pick or a top 3 pick at least would not be the worst start in the world for them. You also have teams like Detroit at number 6 in terms of the odds, teams like Vancouver at number 9 in the odds that have been really bad in terms of the draft lottery luck these past few seasons, looking for a better year this time around, and we'll see if that works out for them. Another big one is the 11th overall pick of the Arizona Coyotes, and on the face value, it might not seem that crazy, but again, again, that Arizona pick will be forfeited. So they have a 3.1% chance of going to the first overall pick, and that pick being a forfeit pick. It would be absolutely hilarious, and I think the NHL at that point should just erase that pick and make the first overall pick still a thing. But imagine Arizona gets the first overall pick and they have to give it away because of the tampering of John Jacob. I cannot think of a better and more fitting situation for the Arizona Coyotes. And then you also have teams that are just outside in those 1% chances, teams like Philadelphia, Dallas, New York, that are very, very solid teams that still have a chance of getting inside the top 3 and winning that first overall pick. And we saw obviously New York win it, yes, last year, and especially if they were to win again, I think there would be quite a few riots on the streets of Detroit. And honestly, even as a person that likes the Rangers, I can't exactly blame them. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through every single pick, 16 down to number 1 in terms of my final order predictions, how I see this 2021 draft officially shaking out. Because I think, especially in this year's draft lottery, not just with the first overall pick, but I think especially with that top 3, we will see some major surprises and some heavy upsets as well. Now, I'm going to start out with the 16 to 11 range. We'll go through those picks and see if everything's changed, and how I see it working out. And going through those picks, 17 to 11, I see them staying the exact same. Rangers at 16, Stars at 15, Flyers at 14, Flames at 13, Blackhawks at 12, and the Arizona Coyotes at number 11. When it comes to the Rangers, they'll stick at that spot. They'll still probably get a pretty good player, especially if they're looking for a center. Radu might be available there. The Stars, I'm obviously rooting for them to get in the top 3, but I also doubt they'll have some luck this year. The Flyers are maybe due as well for some luck, even though they did get Nolan Patrick, and that hasn't exactly worked out. I mean, with the state of the franchise, they could definitely use one. And speaking of using one, the Flames right now could totally use a top 3 pick to just kind of rejuvenate some speed and some skill into that lineup. You also got the Blackhawks, number 12. Just don't win the lottery, please. Thank goodness. And of course, I got the Arizona Coyotes sticking at 11, and that pick will end up being forfeited. But now we can get inside the top 10 and see what also changes. You got teams like Ottawa, Vancouver, LA, San Jose, Detroit that could be in this range. And we're going to go for the 10 through 6 picks, then setting up the top 5 in this year's NHL draft lottery. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go through 10 through 4, and then we'll get inside the top 3. I'm not going to spoil who moved up. You might just have to make your mind up on your own. But starting at number 10, the Ottawa Senators will end up staying at this spot. Next up at number 9, you end up having the Vancouver Canucks, still not getting any luck in the end. You have at number 8, the LA Kings staying put. Same thing with the San Jose Sharks, the same California brothers sticking at their spots. But at number 6, you have the New Jersey Devils dropping down 1 spot, or actually 2 spots, and not getting top 3 in this year's draft lottery. Then you have the Anaheim Ducks at number 5, dropping 3 spots as well. A big drop from number 2 in the second best odds. And then at number 4, the Buffalo Sabres will once again drop, and the worst team in the league will again select with the 4th overall pick, which now sets up our top 3 of, you guessed it, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Seattle Kraken, and for the first time getting some luck, the Detroit Red Wings. Now, I just want you to imagine in your mind at the current moment, Detroit, Seattle, and Columbus for that top 3. Definitely some really, really interesting options. And I think these will be the 3 teams that get the major luck at this year's lottery and place inside the top 3. But dominoes do need to fall until we get to the 1st overall pick. And then you go on to number 2 between the Seattle Kraken and the Detroit Red Wings. And obviously, once I reveal who gets number 2, you will know who gets number 1. Seattle, the new team coming to the NHL, and the Detroit Red Wings, the team that could badly need that 1st overall pick and could use it quite nicely as well, especially with the core of Maurice Sider and Lucas Raymond coming up. It could definitely add to their fuel. And I think either of these teams would be a great fit for that 1st overall pick. And I do see these 2 teams being the teams that could get the 1st overall pick. But it sadly has to go to 1, and 1 team will get the 1st overall pick. All right, enough stalling. Let's get into the 2nd and 1st overall pick. And for the 2nd overall pick, actually, you know what? Let's just go to the 1st overall pick, because again, once you know who gets 1st, you know we'll get the 2nd. For the 1st overall pick in the 2021 NHL draft, some people might think it'll be rigged, but I see this being the way it happens, just for the pure luck of things to start it off greatly for this team. For the 1st overall pick, it'll go to the Seattle Kraken. Seattle comes in at number 1, and the Detroit Red Wings come in at number 2, second overall, and Kraken getting the first overall pick. They're getting Kraken, and they get the best selection in the 2021, or the highest selection in the 2021 NHL draft. What a way to start out that franchise. I see it being just that much poetic, and I think they will win it in the end. Selecting first, and Detroit still doing pretty well, going on to the second overall pick. But that is your top 3. Seattle number 1, Detroit number 2, and Columbus number 3. All these teams moving up to the top 3 and making the draft order in the top 16 that much more interesting. But as we've learned in the past with NHL draft lotteries, the NHL draft lottery is always unpredictable, and just ask Vancouver Canucks fans and Detroit Red Wings fans. If it was actually going on teams that deserved it, they would have had a top 3 pick a long time ago. But that'll be it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Comment down below, what are your thoughts on this year's NHL draft lottery, and what are your predictions for the top 3? Who do you see getting 3rd overall, 2nd overall, and who do you see getting that 1st overall pick? Let me know. And of course, share this video with your friends, get the draft lottery predictions out there, and click on this card right here to watch all of my hockey predictions content right in one playlist. My name is Nathan. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video or stream. Let's get cracking, baby, and hope you have a great day. Goodbye.